Today's court case is between Batman, who is suing Superman in saying that he destroyed his company at Wayne Tech at Metropolis. In this case of Batman v Superman.
Cold case.
Yeah, I mean, why is it called V? Shouldn't it be VS? I mean, this is not, yeah, no, it's not a court case. It should be Batman versus, like, VS. I guess they spent so much money on the effects, they didn't have money to, like, have the last S at the end.
Can't afford that S there.
So, hi, welcome to Unscripted on End Credit Reviews. This is Tyler from End Credit Reviews.
And Steven from Steven Lawson Studios.
And today we actually have 3 guest stars on here. If you can tell by the audio quality, we're actually recording in a car because we just saw this movie. So, introduce... Authentic sound. So, let's introduce it to our guest stars here, folks.
I'm Luke, and I'm crammed in a car right now.
I'm Marco, and I'm also crammed in a car.
And I'm Brian, and I'm sitting on someone's lap.
We don't want to make it sound like it's illegal or something. So, So we have Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. We have been waiting for this kind of movie for a long time. I mean, they were going to make this kind of versus movie a while back. Originally, back in the 2000s, with the same guy who wrote Batman Robin. But he did write I Am Legend, so I'll give him props for that. Which, by the way, there was a banner in Times Square for Batman vs. Superman, so predicting the future?
Confirmed. Illuminati.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, but it's... Yeah, I'm glad they waited because so that way, at least one studio like, Marvel, for example, got the ball rolling for shared cinematic universes, and now DC is finally doing it. But I'm glad they're doing it in their own way and not just copy and pasting what Marvel's doing, because that'd be dumb and unoriginal.
Absolutely.
Yep. So, Batman versus Superman. This one, we have taking place after the events of Man of Steel. Batman, played this time by Ben Affleck.
The notorious butt chin.
Not as much as Aaron Eckhart.
That's true. That butt chin could poop and wipe itself. That's ridiculous.
So it pretty much a story about, Superman tearing up the city, which a lot of Marvel fanboys, give flack about. But the thing is that, he is scared because he knows how powerful Superman can be and not so sure if he can trust him. And a lot of people in the world are concerned about Superman's power in that.
The same way. He's very much reinforced in his fears by things you see, which I will not spoil. And, also just the general fear of the people, aside from, the immediate BFF club of soups. Seem to be kind of worried about what he's capable of.
Yeah, true. And so then eventually, through different circumstances, the two do fight. Like, of course, in the trailer, like advertised. And yeah, I mean, just what do you guys think about, going into this, what your expectations were?
I was going in with an open mind. I wasn't sure what to expect. But I think the Ben Affleck, defied expectations when people thought he wasn't going to be good. But that fight, I think, solidified him as maybe the best on-screen Batman we've had.
Yeah, we just forgot about Daredevil.
Yeah.
Movie, yeah.
I went in thinking with what the internet was saying about the 34 rating on Rotten Tomato, that was completely misunderstood. I don't know why would they rate that low.
Yeah, I mean, they gave, that really forgettable, boring Superman Returns, a 72 out of 100. I mean, what's the deal with that?
Bad decisions.
Then, I knew there was going to be great off the top going into this. I mean, this is actually my second time seeing it. I'm the only one who's seen it twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah! I'm holding the mic, so I can't clap, sorry. No disrespect, but...
Yeah. No, but, Ben Affleck was probably the best one that I've seen out of all the Batmans, especially with the whole voice modification that they did.
Better than the bear growl?
That was cool.
Better than the cancerous...
smoking several packs a day.
Yeah, really. And they really kind of explained it that it is a voice modifier when Alfred was kind of like working on it and everything, and they showed it off and all that. And and I think the choreography through like the fight scenes was a lot better to see. Unlike the Nolan films where it's like it's so over the top and like the camera's everywhere and it's really hard to see. In this film, you can actually see the fight scenes and know what's happening and see like Batman kicking ass as he usually does.
Yeah.
In the first two Nolan movies, it was also even kind of joked about in the movies and outside of it how the suit was part of the problem where he couldn't really turn his head, and so that's a good point to make.
It looks like he couldn't do that in this one either, but they didn't really address it. Like, it didn't seem like a problem for him. Like, the cowl was still holding his head forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, back to what you were saying about, best Batman. I gotta disagree with my Batman the Animated Series shirt wearing right now.
Well, he said screen Batman, live
Well,
action.
there was an animated Batman movie, Mask of the Phantasm, which, by the way, I think it was maybe Alfred said, like, he's a phantasm. I'm like, Mask of the Phantasm, guys? Yeah, I mean, back to the casting, I would say that I think one that we're mostly on the edge of our seats about was probably Jesse Eisenberg. What did you think?
Personally, I felt it was meh, M-E-H. I think that's a good summary of it. Some people, I'm sure, will go either way on it. But I would say, in general, he had a few moments where I was like, oh, yeah, that's kind of neat. Yeah. Villain Lex Luthor talk. And then there was kind of just autistic spasm stuff happening.
Well, yeah, I mean, geniuses and, people who are, like, really smart are usually awkward socially.
Right. But, I mean, there is that sort of thing, but that, he felt very awkward. Like, it was... there were points where it was just like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, it's like I'm talking to my crush in high school, but I'm too busy looking at her chest, and I'm like trying to ask, like, hey, is that it? And I'm trying to not, be like, oh.
Speaking of crush, Gal Gadot, please come to my house.
You redeemed yourself of being those crappy franchise known as the Fast and Furious.
Oh my gosh. Cancer.
Yeah, I mean, at first I heard what was ironic was that originally she tried out for the female, Zod, like Lieutenant in Man of Steel, but she had to drop out because she got pregnant around that time. But then
that's her body after pregnancy? Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, yeah, but then she was called by Zack Snyder later on to say, "Hey, you want to play Wonder Woman?"
Hey, boo.
I mean, if Michael Bay directed this, she'd be on her hands and knees a lot.
Not gonna lie, this would also be acceptable from my perspective, but it would have made a less interesting Wonder Woman.
During like an explosion, there would be like her skirt would be flying up like Marilyn Monroe in the 7-Year Itch,
and it'd be right behind her ass. Like the explosion would be an innuendo,
and there would be an American flag waving in the back.
And then like Batman sees, she's not wearing anything underneath. Like what? It's better for me to fight.
Batman would pick up a Bud Light and crack it open to the camera.
No, we actually want some good beer.
The product.
Yeah, the Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think what else I wanted to address. We were saying, I think the best thing about this movie are the fight scenes. I mean, there are times where I was getting flashbacks to not just Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, but also to Death of Superman as well. I mean, how many of you have read the Dark Knight Returns? Just raise your hands.
I've read part of it, not all of it.
Everyone except...
I haven't, so did the person in my trunk.
I mean, this is kind of like, everyone has seen Deadpool would get this reference, but yeah, I mean, the fight scenes are really awesome. I mean, just seeing Batman and Superman just go toe to toe. I mean, I thought it was maybe a tad bit slow, but they're trying to make it more, I guess, kind of more realistic if you think about it. But I think the one that was awesome was just Batman just taking down a whole warehouse full of guys and just cracking them down. Like, damn.
He was bouncing them like combo hit.
Yeah, it's like the Batman Arkham games on speed, pretty much.
Yeah, a lot of people were actually making reference that it's just like the Arkham games.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was too much of him flipping around. It was more of him just doing what he does, like just kicking ass the whole time. And he did get to throw in. Yeah, he was. He did get in like his gadgets and all that, like his grappling gun and batterings and all that. So it was really cool to see him kind of mix it up rather than just use his fist.